welcome to the course on agricultural economics. And today we will cover the concept of risks and uncertainty in agriculture, the difference between risks and uncertainty in agriculture, types of risks and uncertainty in agriculture. At the first, I'll discuss the concept of risks and uncertainty. In the ordinary sense, the risk is the outcome of an action taken or not taken in a particular situation which may result in loss or gain. It is termed as a chance or loss or exposure to danger arising out of internal or external factor that can be minimized through preventive measure. Risk refers to variability or outcomes which are measurable in an empirical or quantitative manner. The outcome for each particular item need not be predictable. It is only necessary that the probability of outcome or loss can be established for a large number of cases or observation. Empirical probabilities of outcome or loss can be established in either first or second manner. Number one, using the first method, a prior probability of outcome can be established when the characteristics of the eventuality are known beforehand. It is not necessary that a continuous drawing of card be made to determine that the chance or probability of drawing the edge of spread from a deck of card is 1 by 52. In the same manner, we can predict with certainty that with continuous rolls of a perfect with the game of chance is not faced with uncertainty. He is faced with risks. Although the outcome a single game cannot be predicted without error, the outcome over a large number of games certain. Secondly, the statistical probability of outcome can also be established when the sample cases is large enough. The observations are repealed in the population and the observations are independent. For example, insurance company can predict the statistical probability of death, fire loss, and similar outcome with a degree of certainty such that phenomena under consideration can be classed as a risk. Therefore, risk is defined as a situation when all possible outcomes are known for a given management decision and probability associated with each outcome is also known. Risk is measured through probability concepts. Probabilities are assigned to the event, for example, probability of rain, weather, forecast, etc. It can be insured by the insurance company. As a result of experience of the farmer, some future outcome can be fairly calculated. For example, poultry farmers, rice farmers, etc. having long and repeated experience can predict cost, output and price closer to the reality. Now I've defined risks as the case where the distributions of outcomes is known either a priori or statistically through experience. This definition implies that decision makers have imperfect information about whether a given outcome associated with a course of actions will occur, but act as if they know the probabilities of the relevant alternatives. States of nature that it leads to different outcome. Nevertheless, probability used by decision maker are usually unavoidable, subjective. Hurdler has interpreted the concept of risks in three ways. Number one, the chance of a bad outcome. Number two, the variability of outcomes. Number three, uncertainty of outcomes. Building on the word stability in the second interpretation, other words, the characterized risks include robustness, vulnerability, and resilience. Agricultural risks primarily stem from several interconnected factors. Climate variability and evolving climate patterns play a crucial role, influencing crop yields and livestock productivity and predictability. This unpredictability is compounded by the intrinsic biological process inherent in agricultural productions, which are susceptible to environmental changes and disease outbreak. Moreover, the seasonal nature of agricultural activities introduce inherent vulnerabilities, where the timing and durations of planting, growth, and harvesting phases are crucial for success. Geographical disparitions further exacerbates these risks, as agricultural productions often occurs far from end consumers, require efficient logistic and transportation systems that are vulnerable to disruptions. Natural disasters ranging from flood to drought and pest outbreak pose significant threats, often leading to crop failure or reduced yields, thereby impacting food security and economic stability. Uncertainty in both yield and prices adds another layer of complexity. Fluctuations in market prices are severely affect farm income, making financial planning and investment decisions challenging. Imperfect market conditions characterized by asymmetric informations and inadequate infrastructure hinder efficient resource allocation and profitability for farmers. Furthermore, the limited availability and inadequate design of risk management tools such as credit and insurance further expose farmers to financial instability. Access to credit is often constrained by stringent requirement or high interest rates, limiting investment in improved agricultural practices or technology. Insurance products tailored to agriculture are often underdeveloped or not affordable for smallholder farmers, leaving them exposed to losses from crop failure or other adverse events. These risks not only affect individual farm livelihood and incomes but also undermine the overall resilience and sustainability of the agricultural sector. Agricultural development, crucial for alleviating widespread rural poverty, face substantial challenges due to this risk factor. The ability of agriculture to contribute to poverty reductions is compromises when farmers are unable to withstand or recover from financial setbacks caused by weather disease, market fluctuations, or inadequate access to essential service. In the summary, the complex of interplay of climate variability, biological process, and seasonal dynamics, geographical challenges, natural disaster, market uncertainty, and inadequate financial service collectively shape the landscape of agricultural risks. Addressing these challenges required comprehensive strategy that enhance resilience at both individual and systematic levels, ensuring that agriculture can fulfill its potential as a cornerstone of sustainable economic development and poverty alleviation effort worldwide. Nextly, we are discussing the concept of uncertainty in agriculture. Uncertainty is defined as the absence of certainty or knowledgeable about a situation or outcome. It occurs when there are multiple possible outcomes for a specific event, but the probability of each outcome is not known precisely. This lack of certainty arises due to inadequate information or understanding of the current circumstance, making it difficult to accurately define or predict future event or outcome. Uncertainty specifically pertains to future event where the potential outcome cannot be reliably measured or quantified using empirical data or mathematical model. Unlike risks, which involves measurable probabilities based on historical data and model, uncertainty defines such quantification because the probabilities themselves are unknown. In practical terms, uncertainty manifests when decisions must be made without precise knowledge of the livelihood of the different outcomes. For instance, in agriculture, farmers can estimate potential crop yields based on their experience with known factors such as specific seed varieties and fertilizer types, albeit with some level of risks. However, when new agricultural technologies or crop varieties are introduced, the predictability of yield outcome become uncertain. The potential impact on yield due to such technological changes cannot be accurately estimated beforehand because the effects are not fully understood or predictable based on past experience. Unlike risks, which can often be mitigated through insurance or risk management strategy that rely on probabilistic assessments, uncertainty poses a greater challenge. It cannot be insured against because the probabilities of different outcomes are not known or calculable. Therefore, decisions made under conditions of uncertainty involve more subjective judgment and often require adaptive strategy that can be respond to unforeseen development. In a nutshell, uncertainty refers to situation where the future is inherently unpredictable due to a lack of precise knowledge or data about potential outcome. In contrast with risks, which involve known probabilities and measurable outcome based on historical information. In agriculture and other fields, navigating uncertainty required flexibility, innovation, and a willingness to adapt to changing circumstances and emerging technologies that can significantly influence outcome but are not predictable based on past pattern alone. Next, we are discussing difference between risk and uncertainty. Frank Knight originally distinguished between concept of risk and uncertainty, highlighting several key differences between them. Number one, risk is characterized by the possibilities of gaining or losing something valuable. In contrast, uncertainty denotes a lack of knowledgeable about future events. Number two, risk is measurable and can be quantified using theoretical model. Conversely, uncertainty cannot be quantitatively measured because future events are inherently unpredictable. Number three, in situations involving risks, potential outcomes are known and can be assessed based on probability. In contrast, uncertainty entails unknown outcomes, making it impossible to assign probabilities. Number four, risks can be managed and controlled through appropriate measures. In contrast, uncertainty lies beyond control as future outcomes are uncertain and cannot be predicted with certainty. Number five, risks can be minimized by taking precaution and implementing risk management strategy. Uncertainty, however, cannot be minimized because it stems from fundamental unpredictability of future event. Number six, risks involve assigning probabilities to various scenarios based on available data. Uncertainty, on the other hand, precludes the assignment of probabilities due to the lack of knowledge about future outcome. Rather than viewing risk and uncertainty as strictly dichotomous terms, it is more accurate to consider them on a continuum. At one end of this continuum are risk events where both outcome and probability are known. At the opposite end are uncertain events where neither outcome nor probability are known. In agriculture, many events fall somewhere along this risk uncertainty continuum. Farming scenarios often involve a mix of known and unknown outcomes, with some but not all potential outcomes and probability being identifiable. This middle ground on the continuum reflects the reality that while farmers can make informed decisions based on experience and available data, they also face uncertainty inherent in weather conditions, market fluctuations, and technological advancement. In a nutshell, Frank Knight's distinguish between risk and uncertainty underscore the fundamental difference between situations where outcomes are probabilistically measurable and those where future events are fundamentally unpredictable. This continuum perspective acknowledges the varying degree of predictability and uncertainty that exist in different contexts, including agriculture, where informed decision making must navigate both known risks and unknown uncertainties. Nextly, we discuss the types of risks in agriculture. The general types of risks in agriculture are as follows. Number one, production risks. The productions of crops and livestock is susceptible to fluctuations caused by weather condition, disease, pest, weeds, and limitation in technology. These factors are inherently unpredictable, leading to variability in agricultural output. Additionally, yield fluctuation can stem from a multitude of factors, some within the control of management and other beyond it. Weather and technological risks are particularly crucial components of production risks. Furthermore, variability in yield can be attributed to changing in production cost, institutional factor, management adjustment, and challenges such as delay availability of essential input like labor, seeds, livestock breeds, fertilizers, feeds, and irrigation. Shift in production technology and fluctuations in inputs and output prices also contribute significantly to yield risks. Number two, price or marketing risks. Price risks, also known as marketing risks, arises because market prices are determined by the interplay of supply and demand force. Changes in this factor can lead to the risk of price declines. Supply is significantly affected by risks such as adverse weather conditions and production uncertainty. Whether demand for agricultural commodities is influenced by factors such as consumer income levels, preference, habits, taste, export-import policy, and broader economic measures enacted by the government. This dynamic collectively contribute to the volatility in market price. Farmers have limited control over market price, which fluctuate not only annually but also seasonally, reflected the inherent seasonal variation in supply and demand. The production decision for crops and livestock are heavily influenced by these market prices, adding a layer of uncertainty to agricultural operation. Most agricultural commodities face a considerable time lag between their production and eventual marketing. This delay provides ample opportunity for market prices to fluctuate as commodities move from production centers to consumption areas. Thus, the prolonged durations between productions and marketing activities expose farmers to the risks of unpredictable price changes during this transitional period. Thirdly, risks of fall in real return. In agriculture, certain enterprise involves significantly longer gestation period. For example, fruits crop like mango can have gestation period spending 5 to 6 years. During this time, farmers incur costs upfront while the returns are realized gradually over the entire production period. However, there exists a substantial risk related to the potential decreases in the real value of this future return. These risks become pronounced if there is a decline in the purchasing power of money, often due to the factor like inflation. In such cases, despite receiving returns in the future, their actual purchasing power may diminish, posing a serious financial risk to farmers engaging in this enterprise. Number 4, institutional risks. Institutional risks in agriculture stem from the unforeseen alterations in policies and regulation instituted by both formal and informal entities. The government as a formal institution introduced uncertainty through unpredictable shift in its policies and regulatory framework, which significantly impact farmers who often have minimal influence over these changes. Moreover, institutional risks can also emanate from informal institutions, such as unpredictable behavior among informal trading partner, rural producer, organization, or shift in societal norms that influence agricultural practice. As agriculture increasingly focus on market-oriented production, farmers find themselves increasingly intertwined with various institutions that provide support and influence their operations. These institutions play pivotal roles in shaping the landscape within which farmers operate, thereby exposing them to both opportunity and risks arising from institutional decisions and action. Personal risks. Personal risks are individual specific and pertain to challenges affecting human health or personal relationship that impact the farm or household. These risks encompass various sources, including injuries resulting from farm machinery accident, the illness or death of family member due to disease, adverse health effects stemming from the pesticide exposure, and the potential transmissions of disease between livestock and human. Health-related risks are particularly significant as they can lead to fluctuation in income and cause substantial concern among farmers. Farmers often navigate the intertwined nature of personal and institutional risks. For instance, even like divorce or the death of a spouse can trigger institutional risks governed by the customary law, potentially leading to issues such as the redistributions of land or livestock ownership. In academic literature, terms such as personal, human, hedonistic generally denote similar type of personal risks. These risks highlight the complex and interconnected challenges faced by the farmers, where personal circumstance can profoundly impact both individual well-being and the broader agricultural operation and livelihoods. Number 6, financial risks. Financial risks in agriculture grows as farm business accumulated more borrow capital. These risks expand due to the principle of increasing risks, which assert that higher level of borrowing raise the livelihood of losing equity capital in the event of financial setback, consequently inflating the debt-equity ratio. Uncertainty arises from potential fluctuation in future interest rates and fiscal policies, as well as shift in the farm business ability to generate adequate cash flow to repay debt. Next, the type of uncertainty in agriculture. In agricultural production, farmers confront various types of uncertainty that can be broadly classified into two groups. Number 1, on-farm uncertainty, and number 2, off-farm uncertainty. On-farm uncertainty pertain to aspects such as production processes, resource availability, and family labor contribution. Off-farm uncertainty, on the other hand, encompass factors like market price, government policies, technological advancement, and institutional dynamics. Additionally, agriculture is subject to other significant uncertainty, including uncertainties related to land tenure and uncertainty regarding the probable price and quality of inputs. Among the on-farm uncertainty, perhaps the most crucial is yield uncertainty. Despite advancement in agricultural technology, natural factors such as rainfall patterns, flood, and the drought continue to exert a dominant influence on agricultural production outcome. The primary off-farm uncertainty that significantly impacts agricultural decision making is the uncertainty surrounding input and output prices. Output price uncertainty holds particular importance as it directly affects the profitability of farmers. In contrast, while input prices also fluctuate, farmers can often adjust their purchasing decision over time since inputs are not always acquired all at once. Further, agricultural output is also affected by uncertainty stemming from institutional factors, including the operations of credit agency, tenure conditions, and the action and the perspective of various rural agencies that provide support to farmers. This institutional behavior can significantly influence the agricultural landscape and farm decision-making process. With this, I conclude today's session. In the next sessions, we will discuss about measurement of risks and uncertainty in agriculture. Thank you.